Hello everybody, Mr. O here, and this is my new lesson that I'm doing with students, which is drawing dragons. And even though this is a dragon one, usually I let kids do gargoyles too, because it's kind of like dragon-like people. And just in case they're better with people, and just like any lesson, we start off with a sketch, and I have a full time lapse after this, and then I broke up the time lapse into two parts. So I kind of sketch. Now, for somebody like me, I've drawn dragons before, but more importantly, I've drawn lots of animals. So I think of different kinds of animals, from the broad chest of a horse to the neck of a giraffe, to a bird-like head, and then just thick, powerful legs, and a long tail like an alligator. And those are type things that I come across. Now, as I done my time lapse, like any time I do digital art, I make mistakes. So I have things on the wrong layer and stuff like that, little highlights. And as you can see, I took my sketch and then I really refined it. And I really added quite a bit. And then I just kind of built it up over layers. Now, for those of you who are new, like a lot of the things that I'm doing seem fantastic. An experienced digital artist will know that there's many different ways, and maybe even better ways of doing things that I did. I kind of am teaching to the beginner, and then I try to push those who are more advanced. And as you can see, I had the outline, I had a couple wing layers and stuff like this. And even with this, I am not done, because I noticed something in the time lapse. Not only was I going to do highlights, let me increase the size here. I'm going to do highlights of white within the scales, and just as my finishing touch, and really into the wings do deeper and darker shadows. For me, that will be my finished product. But as I do that, I will also look for mistakes. And here is one mistake. I never even did that claw. I didn't even notice until I was kind of putting a time lapse together for the shorter videos. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. That this is why at the end, and this is what makes digital great, is I can go back in throughout the different layers and do that. Now, one of the things when you do get something finished, and digital artists right now, especially if you're younger, just like anything, you don't like doing background, but backgrounds are the greatest thing. And I'm not happy with my background. I will tell you that. And I'm going to just start. There we go. I'm going to start with the lightning. As you can see, I'm going to slowly build things up. And I have lots of different layers. Now I'm going to tell you why I'm not happy with the background. Usually I do smoke and clouds much better. And I am not happy with how I did everything. I don't know, I think I'm going to lose that just for you guys. I need to do a better job of rendering my background. And I'm actually thinking about making a dead forest. I'm even going to do a shadow maybe right here, maybe by the glow of a unicorn, just something that's a little more interesting. And so as an artist, I need to critique myself. Now, we critique ourselves so bad sometimes that we are never finished. Now, I don't believe that. I just know I can see instant improvements. And this is why it's always good to have multiple projects. But when you're in a classroom, it's hard to have multiple projects or distraction unless you're in high school. When you're in elementary or middle school, you kind of have that focus assignment. Since I am teaching this to middle school kids, they're going to focus in on this. Now, in the beginning, they're not even going to have as many layers as I do. And let me pull this back a little bit. Sorry for the shaky cam. And I want to show this. Look at all these layers. So you heard me talk about the layers, but you didn't get to see them. And look at all those layers. Now, I don't have all of them named because I'm very bad at that, and just like I am bad at drawing. The program I'm using is Photoshop. when I teach kids, they're using Pixlr E, and I'm always looking for other programs that work with Chromebooks and stuff. But we do have, I have them use Clip Studio. I have kids who bring in their own iPads, so they use Procreate. If you're a teacher, if a kid has something available to them and they want to use it, I usually let them use it unless it's like a tracing program, a program that does. And if you're somebody who's learning, learn not to trace. There are nice little things you can do, and I'm gonna actually make a video. The kids are asking how I duplicated the wings because they are identical. And what I did is I had drawn the wings a year ago, and then I kept them in a file. I've been waiting for to come up with something to use the wings on, and I realized I'm gonna put the wings, feather wings on this dragon. And by the way, talking about this dragon on a tangent, this reminds me of the little lizard monkey thing from Pirates of Darkwater. I haven't looked that up just to see if I was totally influenced by that lizard thing. I just remember seeing it as a kid. And it just brought back memories as I was drawing this. So I'm going to see if my mental imaging is actually something from my childhood, and that's okay. You go with it. You go with the flow. But getting back to the wings, what I did is I inversed the direction and I pulled them over into this file. And as a digital artist, doing the separate layers, and why it's important, you can take from one file to another file when you do something good and you start building. That's how digital artists are doing it. That's how they're making pretty good money of doing it. So it's something I recommend to you. Just start building your files, especially when you draw something you really liked. And I really like these wings. So enjoy the rest of this video. Start working on your project if this is something you're going to be doing. If you're one of my students, you are doing it. Like I said, if you're a teacher or if you're somebody that's not big into animals but more into people, do this as a gargoyle. All right. So we will talk to you later. And before I forget, I need to do this. I cannot forget to do this because I don't really get to do this in time lapse. I'm going to create a new layer. Maybe. I'm going to, I get my boxes pop up on another monitor. I got two monitors going. So maybe it'd be easier if I just use the mouse. And I'm having trouble getting things, but you know what? I got a new layer. I'm gonna go to orange and just write this right here. Let's make sure that's not thick enough. Control Z that. You're getting extra lessons. And I'm just going to increase the size here. And that way you can see what I'm about to write. You are beautiful. Never forget that. Always got to concentrate so I don't misspell. I don't know about you guys. All right. Have a great day. See you next video. Enjoy the rest of this one. Bye-bye.